Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. One of our favorite people that works here in our digital department is a gentleman by the name of Jake. Jakery, as Betty Rock calls him. And Jake is wonderfully different. And
I would call him darkly sarcastic.
Yes, yeah. Like we truly love Jake, okay?
He finds pride in his sense of humor.
It's funny, I don't love you guys.
Yeah, see, that's it. That's him being funny. See how funny he is? No, but Jake has like some neuroses and things like that that he owns, and he owns it really well. Like he doesn't expect you to cater to his stuff. He's just honest about it, which I've always liked about him. And it's fun.
It's not what you say when he's.
Oh, you stop that, Rock. Do not drive a wedge between me and young Jake.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I have something I want to talk to you about work-life balance, though, and I want to get your opinion because Betty Rock and I are always at odds on this. But before that, do you know that Betty Rock goes to a witch doctor?
I heard a little bit about this.
She's not a witch doctor. That's what Wally
we call her that.
Yeah, that's
well,
what
you're always drinking like some kind of sludge that's in the fridge.
Well, it's not a sludge.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
explain this thing. Okay.
No, listen, let me tell
it. I will, but explain the procedure, and then Jake, you just weigh in on how crazy that is.
Okay, so what she does is she will test you. And sometimes, like she's testing you physically, but sometimes if your problems that are physical could be emotional in that, like how anxiety can take a hold of you sometimes, like your emotional state can sometimes play a physical toll on your body. Okay. And so she'll test you for those
How does she
things.
test you? This is the big part. I don't even have to say anything. I won't have to say anything. Because I'm just setting it up.
So what I have to do is she's also a chiropractor, so I lay on the table. I'm laying on the chiropractic table on my back, and she tells me to lift up my left leg, and she will hold on to my ankle and like press it. And as she's doing that with her other hand, she's touching these different vials. And the vials represent different words, okay? And through touching the vials and touching my ankle, she's able to tell me what words emotionally are having a physical impact on my body.
I bet you pay her a lot of money.
I do. $60 a visit.
She is a genius. Like, this lady is a genius. Because this is no different than tarot card reading in my book.
No,
she's
it really
is not. That's fine. But this is no different to
when
me.
she gives you a word, she's not saying anything about it. She just gives you the word. And if you ask her for clarity, she's like, I can't give that to you. I have no idea.
Like a tarot card reader. I'm seeing the name Jake, and then...
No, it's not like that.
Oh, okay, well, it's weird, honestly.
Anyway.
So what was your word?
I went and saw her yesterday. Okay, this is the second time she's given me a word.
Animosity.
Last time she gave me she gave me two words. One was decision making, which I know I can't make a decision to save my life. And the second one was compassion.
Which you definitely could use some of.
It doesn't have to be a negative. It can be a positive too.
I don't know. Like you could use some more compassion.
The word that I got yesterday
yelling
was selfishness.
Oh, snap! Wow! Okay, okay, Jake, you it can be positive or negative. Knowing Betty, how do you take that word for her? How do you interpret that for her?
First off, I thought this whole thing was like a scam, but now that I hear the word selfishness,
you're like, I'm in. Yeah, yeah. It makes sense, right? Now I'm in too.
I think it's negative.
Yeah.
What? But
that you're selfish.
How else would you use it?
Well, maybe I'm being selfish. No, listen, it's got to take, here's the thing. It's got to take, because compassion can be turned into a positive. You have too much compassion for others, so it's taking a negative toll on your body, okay? Yeah. So that's making it a positive. Selfishness, maybe I'm being too selfish with my time, and it's causing a negative reaction. Or maybe I'm being too selfish with
my kindness.
Maybe if you wouldn't push me to the brink,
that's
maybe
interesting
I would
that
have
you
more.
got because Betty Rock did not tell me what the word was. And so selfishness, like I get it, like because you're an only child.
Get it.
I do. You're an only child, so that's one. And I don't blame you.
I don't act like an only child, though.
For the love, Jake.
You have a lot of only child.
Okay, yes! Nobody asked you.
This is why I like Jake, because Jake
Nobody
has no
asked
allegiance to anybody. Jake will just tell you what he thinks, and that's what I like about Jake.
But who acts more like an only child, me or Wally?
No, I'm a spoiled child. I don't act like an only child. I act like a spoiled child.
Very spoiled.
They are one and the same.
Well, then, okay, you just nailed yourself
But
then.
he said you're worse.
No, he did not.
Yes, he just did. Yes, he did.
Wally's been very kind to me.
Yes, I have been. I love Jake.
Do you know why he does that? Because he wants something from you.
I don't care.
What do I want from Jake? What do I want from
This
Jake?
is all
I
a
don't know.
transactional relationship.
Friendship?
I've
yeah.
never asked Jake for anything in my life.
He works for the digital side. You're just trying to show that you're being kind to the digital
I don't
side.
care about
he
that.
can't even remember some of the people's names up there.
I can't either.
See, this is why I love this kid. Okay, so we've determined that you're an only child. And that's I have a child that has trouble like sharing sometimes because she's an only child. There are certain traits I see in both you and her for sure. Not your fault. That's just the product of being an only child, I think, because you're not ever
That didn't
taught
help.
to be selfless. But you, what?
I am good this is having a physical reaction on me, okay? Do not call me a selfish person.
I didn't. Your doctor did. That you paid to call you
I'm
selfish.
okay with her calling me that, but not you.
She nailed it.
I wonder what word she would give you.
I would love to know, but I'm
Pride.
not. I would sure. I
Fear.
got it. Own all of that. Yeah, but I own my stuff. Like that's the difference between you and me.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not the
Yeah.
difference. The difference is that you take selfishness and make it completely negative.
It
could be a
was.
positive.
How you can't
You're
even tell me
making
how.
Jake nervous.
You can't. I'm sorry, we're fighting in front of you, Jake. Okay, so I would love to go to your
I'm never
doctor.
going to tell you any more
I would
words
love to
again.
go to
No,
your
no, no,
doctor.
No, I don't want to care. No,
I would like to go.
I don't care.
Because I would like to see if it's real or not.
You
But-
won't believe it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if she nails it. I don't know.
It would take an act of God
Yeah.
for her to do something that you would be like, okay, she nailed it.
It would. Well, I will tell you this: insoles for my shoes. I was on a cruise one time, and they're like, "Okay, you stand over here," and they push you over basically, and then they're like, "Okay, try these insoles," and they go to push you, and they can't push you. I has to be a parlor trick, but it worked, and I bought insoles. So if I'm not untrainable, I'm not unteachable. I just have to
You're
be
just a jerk.
convinced.
Got it.
Yes, got it. Okay, so now Jake, the other reason you are here is Australia is setting up a thing for employees where they can now. Basically draw boundaries at work-life balance. Have you heard any of this?
No.
Okay. So basically, it's called the right to disconnect law. The new rule comes into effect, and employees, in most cases, cannot be punished for refusing to read or respond to contacts from their employers outside of work hours. How do you think about this? As a younger person
How
that
old are
has
you, Jakery?
I'm 34.
34.
34,
Okay.
okay.
And I would say that you're a millennial.
Yeah, I'm a
Okay, so
millennial,
millennial. And millennials are known for having a work-life balance be important to them. And my generation is not known for that. My generation is known for more
Unhealthy.
of a work balance. Like life.
Die at your desk.
Life is secondary. So, do you think that this is a good thing or no? I'm curious.
Just don't tell my direct reports
I won't.
about this
I will not.
law
Yes.
because I don't.
'Cause
I
you're-
need them to respond to me.
Well, yeah, you have a
Socials
job
is
that
what I
doesn't
do.
stop.
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't stop. I think it's all moderation, right? I don't want to die at my desk, but I also will work on a Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I will come in a little late on a Thursday.
Sure.
But work on a Saturday. Yeah.
Right.
That's how I look at it. I feel like anytime a boss messages me on a weekend, I reply back pretty quickly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
That's
and
what I do.
I would want other people to do the same to me.
Exactly. Because here's the thing. This has always driven me nuts about the younger generation. I might be texting you for information that I need because I'm working. But you have a key to that information that I need to finish what I'm doing. I'm not even asking you to work. I'm literally asking you to give me a little bit of information so I can work, And when people have a problem with that, that sends me to the roof. Or if I'm trying to get information and they're not responding to me, oh my goodness gracious. Because I know you got a life and everything's fine, but you can take 5 seconds out to say no or yes or whatever. And I have tried to be really good with you, Rock. I understand you have the boundaries too, and I don't call you I try everything in my possible not to hit you at 3 because you're usually napping. We have a hard job for schedule, and I don't nap, but I understand why people do need to nap. And so, I try not to bother you. Unless it's an emergency, I don't bother you. But there are times on a weekend, I'm like, hey, I need this. And I don't think that's out of bounds. I don't think that should be out of bounds. But you do? No?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I think the problem is, Jakery, is that I could be wrong. You don't work with Wally, okay? And so Wally does not, and I think rightfully you would admit you don't have a good work-life balance.
I have a better one than I had when I was a complete workaholic, but yeah, I don't. Like I spent last night working on a project for an internal meeting that only the internal people are going to see, and I spent 2 hours working on a video thing because I wanted it to be right, and I could have phoned it in or I could have done it like in 20 minutes and been done with it and been good enough, but I'm not wired that way. So I spent 2 hours trying to make it right.
So you working 2 hours on a weekend, did that affect Betty's weekend?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm. But therein lies the thing. He always says, "I'm just wired that way."
I am.
That's just the way God made me.
I am. He
made you a perfectionist.
He made us all different. I mean, look at the Enneagram. The Enneagram
He did.
looks
He
at
made us all
how
different.
you're wired.
But the thing is that you have said in the past, working gives you.
It fills my cup.
It does.
It does.
Whereas for me,
Right.
it's the opposite. Okay, I need some time away. I need some time at home. I need some time to watch my shows, do some puzzling, hang out with friends.
Right.
And when I get something like a call or a text message and it's like, I need to know this, well, that puts me back in my work frame of mind.
Right.
Now I have to go grab my computer. I have to figure out everything that you
Correct.
need and then send it to you.
Right. Exactly. But that's the thing. When you started this job, and I started this job I've been doing this for 30 years. There was never an expectation of you didn't work on nights, weekends. It's a 24-hour job. And like when you started this job, I was very plain with you and everybody. Hey, this is a job that you have great hours in the sense that you can have large chunks of your day free. But there are times you need to work on nights or weekends or whatever it is. You know, like I was real clear with everybody. I was real clear with Gavin. Gavin didn't fully understand that at first. Gavin learned. And there may have been some tears involved, but he
On Wally's end.
Yeah, no, mine were anger tears. But he had to learn, you know, the expectation and to understand that certain jobs have an expectation.
But do you think, Jakery, that when you set boundaries, like let's say between you and your higher ups or you and your colleagues, when y'all set specific boundaries, do you respect each other's?
I let people walk all over me, so I don't know how to set boundaries.
I love that.
Okay.
And I expect other people to be bad with it too.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to be bad with boundaries, you should be bad
And I
with
think
boundaries
that's my
too.
problem
I love
too,
this
is
kid,
I'm
man.
really bad about setting boundaries and then I'm really bad about keeping them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I have a boundary and then that's the wrong one or that one's ridiculed, then it's
Right.
like, well, I don't know what's okay for me to be okay with and what's not okay for me to be okay
I
with.
think we spar back and forth and we goof around and stuff like that and we stereotype each other. But I think you can admit that the amount of times I bother you for something after work or on weekends is very low comparative to what it maybe used to be, or really, because I really do. I understand your boundaries. I used to laugh at them because I didn't understand them, but I actually do understand that that's how you refuel and how you are better for your week coming up. And I understand that, because for me, if I create something, and even though it took me 3 hours to do it or whatever, I created something I liked and it made me happy. That time was valuable to me, you know. But you have to admit that I don't abuse your free time.
No,
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
But I also want to be clear with, just because you do feel like you need to perfect something that wasn't even called on you to
Right.
do, because
Right.
you want to make sure that you stand out above the others, that you're a top dog or whatever. That gives you energy.
Sure.
But that doesn't make me less of an employee
No,
or
no one
less of a worker.
But this is where she internalizes that. This is fascinating to me. The psychology of this is great.
See, poor Jakery's turning into a therapist.
I know, because no one at any time has ever said that, but she internalizes that if I'm going to this standard, if I'm excelling to this high standard, and then when she refuses to get to that high standard, she sees
refuses.
that
As failure.
as failure. No, if I'm working at this standard and she works at this standard, she thinks that I perceive it as a lesser standard.
Do you?
Sometimes. It depends.
I think if I didn't have boundaries with Wally, if I worked the same way he did, we would both be miserable people.
Probably, yeah. And it's better that just one of us is. That's me.
I have to at some point put myself first in some things.
Back to Dr. Carly. Selfish. It's all come full circle. It took us 15 minutes to get here, but we just figured it out. And actually, you could say that that's positive, that you're protecting yourself, and sometimes you have to be selfish with your time to then protect yourself. So if you want to find the positive, there's
because
your positive.
if I answered every time, like at the beginning, if I answered and I just let you walk all over me or at the beginning,
right,
then there would have been no end in sight. There's no telling. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? But once I set boundaries, then it's like, okay, I respect that. I get that. And
sure.
We work around it. We figure it out.
Boundaries do. When we had Lisa Turkers.
You have boundaries. You have boundaries.
What are my boundaries? I'm curious. What are my perceived boundaries?
With Reich, you're not going to do it. Refuse to do it. Okay? It's a program that we have where we're supposed to communicate, okay?
When we first merged.
Refuses. Yeah. Won't learn new technology. Yeah. But that's where I step in.
Yeah.
Now people have to communicate to him through me.
Correct.
They tag me in everything.
Yes.
So when he needs something from Reich, or I have to post something for him through Reich, or someone's trying to communicate to him through Reich, when it's out of now I'm at home.
Right.
Well, it's my job because that was his boundary. Right. He's not going to learn it.
That was a principle.
So I would say
you're part of my principles.
So I would say that's a boundary. Okay.
What are my boundaries? Like, I like self-discovery. I like the way people perceive you. I know when we do all these personality tests.
That's Jakery. How is he perceived?
I would love to see, I would love to do a thing where we took the personality test for other people, because then you would get a better glimpse at how you are actually perceived. Which I think could be really helpful. It could hurt.
It can be nameless.
Nameless?
Yeah, but just how is Wally perceived?
Very hard worker.
Okay.
Very stubborn.
Sure.
You want things to be you want things done well, and you want them to be your ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that one on the show, not as on the show, in my world, I don't care who comes up with the idea.
Sure.
Like if it's Betty or Gavin or me, it doesn't matter. The best idea wins.
Outside of that.
Outside of the show, I don't think people understand me, and so when they bring me an idea, I'm going to tweak it, and it's not like, oh, I just have to tweak it to be my idea. I tweak it to make it work I have to believe what I'm doing, kind of thing. And so that's where that comes from.
You can't phone it in.
No.
It has to be authentic.
No, yeah. That's where that comes from for me, and it's not about trying to it's not ego based. A lot of the things that I do, honestly, I've never fought for my own parking space. I've never fought for a chair that massages my buttocks. Those aren't the ego things that drive. I fight for processes. I fight for things to be done well that actually ultimately raise the bar and raise things for everybody. Some of the things that Zach and I fought for, and Betty was here for all of this early on, were things that made everybody's lives better. But it was always about the work. And so I do that. But I am stubborn. If I don't like something or I don't think it's good, I'm not going to do it. Right. Absolutely not. So
some might call it selfish.
I would love, it would be so great to go to Dr. Carly and me do the whole thing, and she's just love. That's the word.
Because you don't have enough of it.
Kindness.
You don't have enough of it. And it's playing a physical toll on your body.
So good. They do say that.
How do you feel, Jaker?
There's
after
a reasonable
this
refusal rule in this, too, that the court will decide if the request was reasonable or not before they fine the company. So, yeah, what do you say there, Rock?
How do you feel?
This is a lot.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, it's funny.
Every day.
This is a lot for Jake. This is a Tuesday for us.
Yep.
And it's just one small part of a Tuesday.
And then he wonders why I don't want to hang out after work. It's because it's a lot.
Betty, you are also a lot.
Yes, again. That's why I love this guy.
I'm a lot in a good way.
No.
How am I a lot?
You're equally, your dynamic between the two of you.
Yes.
It is a lot.
Okay, let me ask you something though, Jaker. Let's say that I wasn't a lot. Let's say I was a little, okay? Do you think I would get walked all over? That I would get taken advantage of? I need to be a little bit loud to stand my ground here. Just
Now, do you mean with me? Oh, yeah. I was going to say, like, with me.
In the facility.
You have earned my respect. Like,
in the facility,
it took a few years.
I'm saying that if I was this meek and mild, don't hurt me.
No, you couldn't
I'm
be meek and
okay.
mild and do your job.
I don't
for
think
sure.
I would have stayed here.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I can build a tough skin and give people back what they're serving me,
Sure.
then I can last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Now, does that make me difficult? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Is Betty difficult? Like, what's Betty's reputation?
Betty's the best person I've ever worked with.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And she's great. Like, I love the girl.
That's the title.
That's why you.
Betty is the best person I've ever worked with.
That's why you and I have worked together for 17 years.
Because I tolerate a lot.
I know. I have a lot of respect for you.
Yeah, sure.
You had to earn.
But you don't
that.
have respect for my doctor.
No, your doctor's insane, and the fact
You're
that
insane.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, nutso. But whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hey, do you got it? Oh, birthdays. I have one. Wait, today's the 27th. It's on my desk. You guys talk for a minute, but talk good about me. I've got to go get this.
So you go to this doctor. Holistic doctor. I don't have a problem with like holistic practice. Like I think that's really smart. But it is a little concerning with the word she chooses.
Because that sound. Oh, the word is concerning, or she is concerning.
The whole thing is a little concerning. Like I just want to know what other things, like what other like MLMs have you joined? Like what
What's
other
an MLM?
Like
an M&M?
Cult.
Like cult. It's a mid-level marketing scheme.
It's not.
Pyramid scheme.
It's not a No, it's not a triangle pyramid scheme. You know what I'm saying.
A triangle pyramid scheme.
You get what I'm trying to say.
I'm just a little worried
into one
about
of them
you.
triangle
That's all.
schemes.
No, here's the thing. She does this, and a lot of people that I know, some of my close friends, go to her, okay? And she doesn't give you words unless you ask for them, or if she cannot solve your physical ailment that you're coming to her for. And so she realizes it's an emotional thing. So then she will test your body to see what words are playing an emotion, like
intrigued.
Are playing a role. Honestly, Jake, I think you would be a great person for her. I can't.
That's how. That's
I'm
a
such a skeptic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if she tells you to raise your left leg,
It's a
and
placebo.
Yes. Yes.
No, because here's the thing. It's not just the words. She's given me like vitamins to take for different supplements.
I also
and
kind of
it's
think
super
vitamins are a
helpful.
scam.
Yes,
I
exactly.
honestly do.
No, I can tell a difference. Okay,
I believe you can
wait
tell
a
a
minute.
difference.
Because of your brain.
Wait a minute.
What?
We are gonna get personal,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
So just buckle up, Buttercup. I had
What?
some really serious PMS symptoms.
Yes,
okay,
it was bad.
Serious. Okay?
Bad. Worse than it's ever been.
Okay, where the point was, I was going to hurt Wally.
It was bad.
And Gavin both. I just needed them to stop breathing, and everyone would be fine. Okay,
Yeah.
That's not normal.
No.
Okay, but my hormones
normally
were raging,
elevated,
and
but
I
not-
can't control it.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, I go
You're
to
made
Dr.
that way.
Carly. Shut up. I go to Dr. Carly, and I tell her the situation, and she's like, "Okay, I need you to take some milk thistle."
Okay.
Milk thistle. Okay,
Love
it's
it.
just a tablet with some brown sand looking stuff in the middle of it. And I take it, and she's like, "It's going to make a huge difference." I kid you not. Wally even asked me this last month. He was like, "You good?"
I
Like,
know.
you haven't been angry or
I know
okay?
way
And
too much
it's
about
true.
her. Like, I mean, her cycle, like all this. I mean,
It keeps a calendar, okay?
it
And
is-
it's helpful for all
It
of us.
really is. It does.
It's super helpful.
'Cause they're-
But all that to say, you
Yes.
should be bowing at her feet
I
and
do.
thanking her because that milk thistle
Yeah.
has helped me tolerate you better.
I will admit this. Whatever it was that you started taking, the next time you were so light years better. And Chad and I even really pushed your buttons one day. And it was on a day you normally would have shanked us.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, she's really doing good today. So, yeah, that one works. That one works. I don't know about the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about the other ones, but that
so
one
if
works.
she can help with that, who's to say she couldn't help you with anything else?
Yeah, if
And
she can help
has.
you with the stuff that makes you crazy, I'm all for it.
Then that's you. I got to take care of you. I got to get rid of you, and then we'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, birthdays.
Birthdays. This is from Gilly Armo. We haven't heard from Gilly Armo in a
Gilly
while.
Armo. Hey,
Yeah.
Gilly.
his name's Guillermo, and she was like, one time she read it years ago. She's like, and this is for Guillermo.
I'm
sorry that I didn't know.
Can't read. I almost said it. Guillermo says, hey, can you give my oldest daughter a birthday shout out? Her birthday is today, and I wanted to send it. Her name is Leela. And she's 20 years old today, currently in college to become a teacher. That's awesome. She plays clarinet for the university. She's caring and is always positive. She's a gifted artist who can draw. Oh, wow. Does anime. And her mom and I wanted to let her know that she is precisely what we wanted and a perfect gift from God. So there you go.
So sweet.
Happy birthday to Leela from your mom and dad, Guillermo. And Mrs. Guillermo.
And then finally, Caleb wants to wish his incredible dad a happy birthday. Said he's always prepared with wise insight, a friendly smile, and a contagious laugh. Pizza and homemade ice cream top his birthday wish list, which is great for the rest of us, too. Question. What foods do you just have to have on your birthday?
Oh, I have a dessert that I have to have, and it's Cheerio cream cheese pie, and I had it this time. It's so simple to make. It's like cream cheese, evaporated milk, a little bit of lemon, and then you put cherry stock on it. So good. And a graham cracker crust. I love it. I'll go for a steak or something like that. Betty Lou?
Catfish camp.
Oh, that's
all
right.
I want. I just want fried catfish,
Yeah.
hush puppies, sweet tea, fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake?
Bakery?
Carrot cake.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That's like what an old man would say.
I am an old man.
Okay, the big question on the carrot cake, though, okay? Because this is where I size up a man. I love carrot cake. Big fan. Do you put walnuts in it?
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
No cream cheese frosting either. It's like a caramel frosting on top. Yeah.
Oh, that's not even carrot cake. It has to have raisins and cream cheese frosting.
No raisins.
Yes.
No raisins.
Raisins and carrot cake. Have you ever had it?
Oh,
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But
two
I
old
prefer
men fighting.
Wow. That is okay.
That's disgusting, honestly, both of them.
I am so glad we didn't start at this point because all that nice stuff I said about Jake would have probably just gone out the window. 100%.
I think what we all need to remember is I'm his favorite person to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a delight.
Things might have been stretched a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and as always, thanks for being a buddy. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.